Greetings, everyone. Yesterday, actually, I finished reading Fires of Vengeance by Evan Winter, the sequel to The Rage of Dragons. This is an African set, well, not really African, but kind of African-like fictional world that is based around dragons and demons. And the first book, I think I averaged it out to a 5 or a 4.5. Because it started out like a 3, and then it ramped up to like a 6. And then it got back down to maybe a 4 at the end. So I kind of averaged it out. And this one, I would say it's a 5. But it's not like, there's no moments that go above a 5. It's just kind of continually pretty good. Like 5 level the whole way through, I think. There's a princess, or the queen. The queen character is a little bit weak. I feel like she seems to like worry too much about this romantic relationship he's trying to start with the main character, Tal Solerin. And he doesn't really give a shit because he's just out for vengeance. Because his whole goal is to kill Abasi Odili, who is the champion of the other queen that is calling the queen in the book the usurper, like the fake queen and all this kind of stuff. So they're in one city and this queen is in another city, and they're kind of at war, but they're also dealing with this other group of people, the Zidane, that want to take them over. And the Zidane, half of them are kind of mixed up because some of them have seen that there's this other group called the Cull that have silver skin, and we don't really know that much about them, but they're from far away, and from like thousands of years ago they kind of were wrecking the world or something like that. So that's what, there's supposed to be 2 more books in this series. This is 2. 3 is supposed to be out this year, and then 4 I don't know about, but like, kind of, I don't think he made a book, or he didn't put out a book last year, I don't think. So I kind of get the feeling this may go the way of Gentlemen Bastards and just kind of be like a Scott Lynch thing where it just doesn't come out. But it might. I don't know. I don't know anything about Evan Winter. He's a black dude. Other than that, I don't know anything about him. Yes, so the main character, Tal Solerin, the first book, it really got crazy because he's using this demonic underworld that all these gifted women use to like do all these special skills during war. And he goes there, and you can't die there if you don't take power from it. So you go into the underworld and you fight these demons and they kill you. And time passes really slow compared to the real world. So you can use it as a Dragon Ball Z time chamber and just practice. But most people go crazy because they get killed and their mind can't wrap their head around being killed. This guy's being killed thousands of times. He doesn't care. He knows it's fake. Or he knows he's not going to die, so he does it anyway. And then what I was hoping was, in this book, that he would show people what he's done, and like everybody would freak out. Which, they didn't really freak out that much, but he does like teach other people how to do this thing. And 2 of his sword brothers immediately just get wrecked and they die. And so they're gone. And then he has to recruit somebody else, and he picks this guy who was burned by dragonfire in the first book. I think Tal Solerin had killed his son or his brother. I can't remember what it was. Somebody in his family. So this guy doesn't really like Tal Solerin, but he's so burned beyond belief. He wants, the only way he can like not be in pain is to go into the underworld, and then he can't even talk in this world. So he goes into the underworld just to be able to communicate. And he's like, he goes there more than he should because he's always in pain. And he ends up being pretty strong too, but he's kind of like a puppet because he walks funny because he's got all these scars and he wears these bandages and he can't really walk right, but he's like forcing himself to through the pain, or he's just like he gets to where he can ignore pain. It's really fucked up. And then Tal Solerin also gets shot with a poison dart in his leg, so they have to cut a big chunk of his leg out. So now he's limping. And they also recruited like the queen's handmaidens, these 2 women that are just secretly really powerful warriors. So he's got this little group of like 6 people they start calling the, what was it? The Ayil or something? It was named after his, the guy who taught him how to fight. So they all are kind of like this ragtag group of badasses that look really crazy and fucked up. And there's this whole culture shock thing with like the lessers and the nobles like still don't treat lessers as anything other than like worthless and slaves, and they don't care if they die or not. And that's kind of the whole point of the uprising, is like they're trying to start this whole society where everybody's kind of equal. Even though the nobles, what we find out is the reason they're bigger and stronger than everybody else is because they constantly suck power out of the underworld. as opposed to everybody else who doesn't use the underworld powers, but they can be gifted or something like that. So, pretty dope. The dragons, I didn't say this about the first book. The dragons, the way they work is when they call the dragons, they have their babies underneath the city. So when you call a dragon from the underworld, it doesn't know if it's like a person trying to like summon it to like take it over, or if it's its baby calling it. So it always will respond just in case that one time it might be the baby dragon calling for its mother or whatever. So there's a huge epic dragon battle with, I think most of the dragons died except for one, or maybe it died at the end too. But the queen... Oh, there's also this big scene where the Zidane were fighting, and I think they had like a peace treaty, and they started to leave, but this place where they came on the boats, the Roar is what they call the ocean. It's like so dangerous you can't even like take boats in and out. It's like you could lose a boat just by going in and out, right? It's so deadly. So they figure out the leader is like the type of leader who will stay last to the end, and he's putting his son on the last boat before his. And once his son's like out in the water, they sneak up and they attack him. And then the son sees this and he starts making him row back to the shore, even though it's so dangerous. So then Tal Solerin, he likes this guy, Kana, the son, and he doesn't want him to like come to shore because he'll have to kill him. So he takes his father and cuts his head off and holds it up, and that makes Kana go crazy and go on this crazy revenge thing. Kills Tal Solerin's whole village, except for his mother. He just like blinds her, but he kills everybody. Then he starts going through every other village and just wiping out village from village to village. And Tal is now leading the queen's armies to fight this city, and he can't even go deal with it because he's busy. So, and he's trying to deal with this queen who's got this. She keeps trying to get him to like be her lover and stuff. He doesn't care. He's got vengeance on his mind. He's got shit to do. So, ultimate Chad move, I guess. Can't remember how the end happened. Oh, the Cole, I think. They said the Cole were coming, and they figured out the Cole were coming. So, it's a pretty awesome book. Just nothing really crazy standout-ish. I mean, those are pretty good scenes, but they're like 5 scenes. They're not 6 scenes. What was I going to say about the demon? There's just one demon. It's like mysterious. It has a sword. None of the other demons have swords. And when he finally fights Abasiodili, he's this big arena with everybody watching, all the nobles and shit that he hates. And Abasiodili is like this ultimate warrior. Like everybody's afraid of him and shit. But Tal Solerin, he's just kind of like whatever. He's just kind of like barely trying, making him look like a bitch. And what they say is that while Tal Solerin was one of the strongest warriors in the realm or whatever, he's not a demon. And Tal Solerin is like, most demons Tal Solerin's not even afraid of. Because he's already like, he's leveled up so far beyond him that he's been killing demons that nobody can even kill one demon usually. And he's just like, yeah, I can kill a few demons before they kill me. It's not a big deal. It's like a level 1 or 2 demon. And this guy's just like a human guy. I mean, humans like nothing compared to even a level 1 demon. So, it's not that he's stronger than anybody either. He's just smarter, and he can like predict how fights will flow, and he knows how people are going to move and react and shit. Very Dragon Ball Z-ish. Anyway, now I'm reading The Martyr, and it's not going well.